Just want to bring us together to discuss something that doesn't fit inside the normal show. Are you game?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. We are back for another supplemental bit of uselessness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick again.
Yeah, me too.
How does this keep happening?
We have tiny people in our house.
It's a lot of tiny, snotty people in the house. I know what I want to talk about.
Okay.
Today, I was talking to you during when I was cooking dinner.
Yeah.
I think it's better if we just don't look.
Mm.
Thoughts? You thought you were jumping right in. You're not.
Nope.
We're here to ask you to please like,
Comment.
share,
Subscribe.
do all of those things,
Hit the
and
bell.
hit the bell to receive notifications. And in between, we're going to have little pop up episodes called Supplemental Uselessness.
Or in betweenies.
Check us out.
Mm.
Drop a comment. We will respond to every single one of them.
Mm.
That's a commitment I'm making to you right now.
Probably will.
I definitely will.
Yeah. I mean, I can see your point.
I'm going to adopt the philosophy. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
It's been 2 weeks. No, 7 days. It's been 7 days.
A week, yeah.
I'd much rather not know than have to know and pretend it's okay.
Well, I mean, you could know and know that it's not okay. And
But then I want to do something and it hurt. Like, it makes me so mad.
Yeah.
How can you tell somebody they don't exist?
I mean, probably shouldn't.
You probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
But like, it's a very tangible feeling of helplessness.
Yeah.
How are you gonna cope? What's your coping philosophy for the next little while here?
I mean, I still think it's important to know what's going on.
Yeah.
As far as like doing something about it, I mean, we had an opportunity to, and we chose not to. So.
And then you get mad all over again.
Mm.
I remember leading up to the election, because that's what we're talking about.
Mm.
And I kept asking you, she's gonna win, right? She has to win.
Mm.
Like, this is ridiculous. He's filleting a microphone.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of thought that last time too.
I know I was sad when Secretary Clinton lost.
Yeah.
I was devastated
Yeah.
when Harris lost.
Well, you were a little bit more.
I was actually heartbroken. I felt like
Yeah.
I'd been dumped
Yeah.
by the country.
I mean, yeah, kind of. You could make the argument that we didn't fully know what we were getting into the first go around.
Yeah.
We did this go around.
Yeah. And
it was
no
worse.
bones about it.
Yeah.
Like, there was no ambiguity at all.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to do. Also, I will talk about nothing for a long time. Most of it's inappropriate, racist, xenophobic, misogynistic, whether they like it or not.
Yeah. And all of the truly bad things he is doing.
Yeah.
The things that could have been helpful, he's choosing not to do.
Not on the list.
Yeah.
No. How did we get here? This is
what we chose.
I know. I spend a lot of time looking back at things and being like, thinking. I don't feel like you do that a lot. It's just not a productive exercise.
To me, it's not.
It's not to me either.
Yeah.
I can't always help it.
Like, while you're in the moment, you're like, okay, clearly these are disqualifying. So we should be moving ahead.
Right.
And it wasn't.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Like, what is disqualifying then? Because nothing he says or does at this point we should be surprised by.
We shouldn't.
Because he told us he was going to do it, and we did not disqualify him.
Yeah, that kind of changed politics.
Yeah.
Like, there is no more where's the beef. There's no more binders full of women.
Right.
All of that stuff that got rid of people and torpedoed their campaigns, not a thing anymore. Because the narrative changed to, you don't listen to the words that come out of his mouth. You listen to what's in his heart or whatever. Yeah. That's the thing now. It doesn't matter what anybody...
Firebrand, yeah.
It doesn't matter what anybody says.
Okay. Or what they do.
Or what they do, depending on who they are. One side matters a whole lot. The other side, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Because he's just shooting from the hip.
That's not what he's doing.
No, it's not. He's following the playbook that was written.
It's just fundamentally different than what I thought we were about.
Sure. Yeah.
And so there's been a lot of
I mean,
I'm going through the stages of grief.
this is what, 4 years, 8 years?
Just about 10 years. I
Yeah.
think we did the math last time we talked about it. He came down the escalator in 2015.
That's a short period of time
Yeah,
for politics to change.
just upend.
Yeah.
But it only changed for a certain set. The other
Sure,
side of the
yeah.
fence is still playing by the other rules,
Well, I
and
mean,
they're still being held to the standard
yeah,
of the
they're
other
being held
rules.
accountable to those rules. The other
Good,
side
bad, or
is not.
indifferent. Whether or not that's the winning strategy, I don't know.
Yeah.
They are still playing that game, and they are still being like when Vice President Harris went on Fox News and did an interview, she got real conservative questions, a lot of gotcha questions,
Yeah.
and a lot of, really pundit like back and forth. That interview would have been appropriate 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Today, that's not the interview you give her.
Yeah.
She shouldn't have sat for it. She should have sat with MSNBC and Rachel Maddow and
Yeah.
just tell me about your favorite ice cream. And
Well, I mean, and she was doing the thing that they told her to do, which was go to the other side, have a conversation with
right,
them, and,
we think
win the conversation.
we think this will matter.
Yeah, if you win the conversation, this will matter. And maybe it mattered to some, but
Yeah.
not enough. That conversation happened. The guy who did the interview was like, yeah, she did really good.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
Do you think that has something to do with it? Like snarky spin commentary, like Jon Stewart, like the rise of YouTube commentary and all that stuff. Like you can find 100 videos on either side
Yeah.
of the fence.
Yeah.
Because everybody has a microphone. I wonder how much of that has played into it. Like we're not listening to the message. We're listening to the reaction to the message.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're listening to the reaction of the message from a handful of people that have a large following.
Right.
Like your
Right.
Joe Rogans and Rachel Maddows and
Yeah.
that sort of a thing. We're not receiving
the credentials of any of it.
Yeah. And we're not receiving the information for ourselves and doing our own research and coming to our own conclusions.
Yeah.
We're just listening to what people tell us.
Yeah. Can I go off on a little side rant?
Side rant.
Side rant. That bothers me.
Which
When
part?
people are like, do your own research, implying that there is more than one kind of research to be done.
I mean, it's difficult to do.
Okay, I'm not that old.
No.
And I am younger than a lot of people that will say, do your own research.
Mhm.
When I hear do your own research, I have a hard time not vomiting in my mouth.
Mhm.
Because that means, look at what I looked at. Don't ask me where it came from.
Oh, sure. I can see what you mean by that, yeah.
Yeah. Don't ask me where it came from. Don't ask me what doctor endorsed it or whatever.
Well,
Don't tell me it's been debunked, because you saying that makes it all the more valid in my mind.
Well, and that's what the tricky...
dumb.
Like, I am a proponent of, like, doing your own research and finding things out for yourself. But where do you look? That's not biased in some form or fashion.
But as a basically educated human, you know the difference between a news article, between an encyclopedia, between a commentator on YouTube.
Sure. Yeah.
And you can scrutinize that reasonably to a degree.
Yeah.
We've got an entire generation, boomers, that look at Facebook
Yeah.
and like, this is my news source. No, you taught us. You're the one that did this.
Yeah.
You told us to scrutinize everything.
Yeah, scrutinize everything, but I just got a bunch of money from a Nigerian prince. I need to put my social security number in and he will give me money.
Right now, I don't want to look at it.
Yeah.
Maybe that will change. But it's hurting people directly in front of me.
Mm.
And I don't know what to say. And I don't know what to do. And I know it's going to come home for us in a real way.
Yeah.
And that scares me, because it's already happening to people I care about.
Yep.
Well,
and some of the concerns that we may or may not have are happening in other states.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The things that weren't going to happen are 100% going to happen.
Yeah.
And we knew that.
Yeah, we knew it. We were told it was going to be a thing.
And I want the people that put him there to be held accountable. And in this climate, it just can't happen. It won't happen.
It won't.
It won't. It won't. So I'm just gonna turn it off for a little bit.
Yeah.
I might look at it a little later, but for right now, I have to turn it off.
Yeah. I mean, the only way in my mind that it can come to fruition is if he or someone close does something astronomically bad that the base is just like, holy.
Yeah, the base.
Yeah.
It's gonna have to be the base or Congress.
Yeah.
And there needs to be a turn somewhere at some point that says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! This is not what we believed you to have said."
Mm.
Even knowing he never actually said what they think he said anyway.
Yeah.
But once it starts coming home for them, I mean, he's done 15 impeachable things already.
Yeah.
His oath is to uphold and defend the Constitution. He wrote an executive order that looked at in the face of it and said, "Hoc tua."
Yeah.
That should be disqualifying.
Well, the whole firing people in the dead of night, that is more than
He's
likely
required
illegal.
to give Congress 30 days notice and cause. He did neither. And they're just like, "Oh, he should have."
Yeah.
Man.
What if any other president had done that?
No, but that's what I'm saying. There are no guardrails. No one cares. I'm not going to watch it. What's your coping strategy? Just kind of.
I mean, I'm
Let it
probably going to
ride.
stay informed
Okay.
on just what's going on, but now I know just not to tell you.
We'll have to establish like a threshold. Like, oh, you might need to know about this. All right. Well, thank you for joining us for this dark and sad episode of Supplemental Uselessness. We will catch you on the flip side and join us every week for a new episode of Useless Philosophy. And
with David and Kelley. Not brother and sister.
We are not siblings.
We are husband and wife.
Gemini seems to think we're related to each other.